It is high drama, lights, camera, action, right? Laugh, laugh, laugh. A little too intense, a little too exaggerated, a little too flamboyant. Absolutely freaking irritate you. Throw a brick through your window. Do not fall apart. Slow it way, way down. Here is my number one tip. Hi, my sweet friends. It's Meredith, your evolutionary astrologer. And today I want to talk to you about Mercury in retrograde in Leo, coming right up late on July 17th Pacific time in the United States, or early in the morning on July 18th. It's in Leo. It's a little bit different. And I thought it had a unique expression, and I want you guys to understand it. And I also want you to be able to prepare for it in your own chart. It's going to be here until August 11th, 2025. Kickstart your relationships and your romance right now. Like today. Don't wait. Don't wait for July 18th. Like, you have to have that first kiss right now. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what Mercury in retrograde means when it is in Leo. It always takes on a little bit of a different expression. And you know, Mercury doesn't mind being in Leo. It really actually likes the sign, but Mercury gets discombobulated inside its retrograde. And that is sort of its illusion of going backwards. I have a couple really old videos if you want to see me young, and I don't have my YouTube voice, seasoned yet, but there are a couple really good videos where I talk about what is Mercury in retrograde. You can go watch those old videos and laugh at me, laugh, laugh, laugh. In those videos, I had already been practicing astrology for like 15, 16, 17 years. I just had not been doing YouTube at all. I did those for Facebook. And anyways, I think it's kind of a cosmic chuckle. I want you to have enough time to, go purchase your new car or get into your relationship or get the good vibrations flowing. Just think of Leo as the great performer, as the radio station, or the microphone, or performing in front of an audience. It could be like lights, camera, action, right? And it's kind of like this brings an energy that makes things stand still or go static. I want you to be able to access the warmth, the excitement, the vitality, the vibrancy. I want you to still be able to extract it from this retrograde. And you have to realize that when Mercury is in Leo, and I live with a person who has this placement, it is high drama. It is dramatic. Performances, storytelling, and it's also a lot of fun. But I want to tell you, like right now, you're probably going to have a lot of feelings attached to your thoughts. Is that happening to you? Yeah, it's happening to me for sure. This is like being able to separate the feelings from the thoughts, and it's going to spin backwards. At least it's an optical illusion, but I just want you to think of it sort of backflipping or walking backwards, if you will, a little bit out of the spotlight. And I want to warn you to really try your best, oh my God, to take a deep breath, count to 10 before you react to the things that are going to absolutely freaking irritate you. I mean, you are going to want to probably throw a brick through your window. You're going to be so frustrated with some of the people and some of the things happening in your life. Detach, breathe, count to 10, and then react, because this is like high drama gone wrong. It can be. I'm also going to go through how this Mercury in Leo retrograde is going to affect all 12 signs. I got to hurry because I want to get through all 12 for you. But first, before we do that, I would love for you to put into the comments, not the chat if you're watching this live with me, but the comments, if my content is too easy, too hard, or just right. Like, can you follow me? I would also like for you to put into the comments, not the chat, any videos that you would like me to do, any kind of content. What would you like to see? I'm going to tell you that Connie Jo and I are going to finish up our houses series. So that is a playlist. And if you're new here, you should watch that entire playlist through the houses. We've already filmed. We're having it edited now, the meaning of the second house. And then we only have the first house left to do. And then that whole series is there for you. And I hope you guys are binge watching that, because it's really good to get Connie's and my take. Sometimes it's a little bit different, usually very supportive and in alignment, but we do add, little differences. If you're here new, I really recommend that playlist, and also my Astrology 101 playlist. And you could also, if you feel a little bit more advanced, you could do my more in-depth and intense workshops, and you can find those at shopsoulnavigation.com. And there are a ton of them, and they are so good, and they go deeper. I really want to know where most of my viewers' astrology level is at. So will you let me know that? Okay, let's dive into this. You're working with Leo, one of the most dramatic signs, if not the most dramatic sign. It's up there with Sagittarius and Aries. There's a big energy. If you have just Mercury and Leo, you are probably a highly dramatic person. And when this goes retrograde, it is difficult to keep all of those feelings. The feelings are enormous, and they even seem a little too intense, a little too exaggerated, a little too flamboyant, a little too loud, when Mercury is in Leo. If you have that placement natally, do people say that about you? Like, your feelings are too much. I can't deal with all your emotions, or you're misunderstood around the enormity of your feelings. Now, today, and people get confused, today we're talking about the transit, not your natal chart. However, you want to get out your gorgeous natal chart. And oh my God, if you have not bought one yet from my shop, please go to shopsoulnavigation.com and go get your gorgeous natal chart, because it's all color coded. You can learn with it. It's a tool that I've made for you. It is so good and so easy to use. I can barely even read the free ones. So use that. Then you want to go and you want to figure out where you have that 15-degree Leo in your own gorgeous natal chart. You want to go find out what house 15 degrees Leo sits at your gorgeous natal chart. Okay. Now, why do you want to do that? Because that is where Leo is going to be on July 17th, and it's going to station. And just think of a train station. It's going to go into the station and stop, pick up its passengers, right? And back out of the train station. Yeah. So it's turning around on that day. And believe me, we usually feel it. So on July 17th, I think we are going to feel the train, the mind, our communication systems, our satellite systems, our communication systems, the way in which we converse, we think, we talk, we perceive, right? Our perceptions are going to come to a halt. They're going to turn around, and they're going to go backwards. And they're going to go backwards. So then it's going to go to the 14th degree, then the 13th degree of Leo, the 12th, the 11th, the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And it's going to land at 4 degrees Leo. And then, well, first I should say on August 11th and 12th, if you're on the East Coast, 11th if you're Pacific time in the United States. So check your own time zones. If you're in Europe, it's the 12th. But it's going to stop at the 4th degree of Leo up there in the constellation. So you want to know where it is down in your gorgeous natal chart, right? And that is all so easy to see inside my gorgeous natal charts. And it's very likely that this is going to take place in 2 different houses in your natal chart. And those houses are important to know the meanings and definitions of, because that's showing you what part of your life is going to be deeply affected. And by the way, if you've got your 15-degree Leo energy, right, in one house, and then it moves down into another house, both of those different realms of your life are going to light up and be a little bit disrupted. So go and see where you have in your own natal chart that 15 degrees Leo. And then I want you to go down and find 4 degrees Leo. And it's that space where Mercury is going backwards. For me, it's absolutely critically important because, one, it's crossing over a planet. So is it crossing over a planet in your chart? That is critical, because your mind is going to tell you to do that planet differently. If it's crossing over your Mars, your mind, the way in which you think about your energy, your vitality, your courage, your mind is telling you to do that Mars a little bit differently. Rethink your Mars, rethink your relationship to exercise, to moving, to your vitality, right? If it's your Venus, it's asking you to rethink your relationships or things that you love. If it's crossing over your moon, if you have a 14-degree Leo moon, then this is crossing over, right? Anything between 15 degrees Leo going all the way back to 4 degrees. If you have planets in there, and by the way, if you don't understand this, keep listening. It's okay. This is kind of advanced. And that's why I wanted to know, like, how many people do I have advanced, moderate, and beginners? It's really important because I want to talk to everybody. If you have this crossing over a planet, that is really important to know. If you have this crossing over an angle, your ascendant, your IC, your descendant, or your midhaven, this is critical because you're being asked to, it's crossing over a fault line, and you're being asked to rethink how that angle operates And if you don't understand the angles, I have a whole playlist. I think I have a whole video on the angles and the meaning of the angles, and you need to know. So if you're a Leo rising and your rising sign falls between 4 degrees and 15 degrees, this is happening right on your ascendant. And then I want you to pay attention to the houses, and there's probably 2 of them, very likely, not everybody, but a lot of people will have this happening in 2 houses. Then I want you to go watch my playlist on the houses, the meaning of the houses, and go really listen and pay attention to what those different houses mean. Astrology is really, really deep, but if you just want the quick and fast and easy, shortcut, I'm going to talk to you today, not about the houses in which the Mercury falls in, Mercury in retrograde and Leo falls in, but I'm going to talk to you about your signs. If you're a sun sign Aries, what can you expect? If you're a sun sign Taurus, what can you expect? The first thing that I want to tell you is all people are probably going to, if you're not in some steady relationship already, but maybe even if you are, I think you're going to see that there are mixed signals inside your romantic relationships. And you might see like a stop start, or like somebody who went kind of cold or backed off or didn't communicate their agenda as well as they should have, or wires got crossed, or expectations were unfulfilled. Here is my number 1 tip for relationships gone wrong inside Mercury in retrograde. There is a higher probability that there will be a breakup inside a Mercury in retrograde, communication breakdown and breakups. Right now, my sweet friend, do not care. Do not fall apart. Do not waste your tears. Do not let your heart break. Write it out. Ride it out, because it is very likely that it can be repaired in time. Just put yourself or them in timeout and come back to it after the retrograde has finished in August and see if it's workable. And don't try to get back together inside the Mercury retrograde too hard. I mean, you can test the waters a little bit, but I would wait until Mercury goes direct and then try again. And then if it doesn't work, then cry. Suspend your tears, suspend your heartbreak until August 11th or 12th, and then try again and see what you get. Okay. So don't waste your tears. Do not even invest in a box of tissues. Now, not everybody will be broken up with, but I'm just saying, if you get broken up with out of the blue, or you get ghosted, or somebody doesn't communicate, or unfulfilled promises, just let it ride. Let it ride. Mercury's in retrograde. It really could work out if you don't completely smash it to bits after they messed up. Why am I saying they messed up? Because you're the one listening to me, and I absolutely know that it is not your mess up to clean up. Nope. You just subtly let it be quiet and return back to it later. Okay, that's the first thing. I also want to tell you that I think that we could really see some breakups in the public eye with our royalty, whatever that is. That could be just royal breakups, to be honest with you. I would tell you that right now, I would not get really big cosmetic procedures done when Leo is in retrograde. I might do little tiny things. Like if you get Botox, great, go get your Botox, who cares? But I don't think I would do a chin lift, a neck lift, a facelift, liposuction. I would not do the tummy tuck. No. I would not do vanity projects to my face or my body when this Mercury is in retrograde. No, I would do small things. Could you do like a laser treatment? Sure. Do a little laser treatment if you already know that it's safe for you to do. And I also would get facials. I would get massage therapy or Reiki, but I don't know if I would do anything really radical until Mercury goes direct. This is a time when old lovers could come back to you. It's just absolutely almost predictable. It's not always great to go back to your lover during Mercury in retrograde. Stall and delay. You need good delay tactics. Like, oh, I'm in the Bahamas right now. Can I call you when I get back on August 12th? Right? Yeah. Oh, I'm really busy. I'm touring Rome right now. I'm at the Roman Forum, and then we're off to Thailand, but I'll be back on August 13th if you would like to chat then. Right. And I also want to tell you that this is a time when you could fight. You could argue and you could fight. So avoid really pushing buttons. And if your buttons are being pushed, try to count to 10, try to detach from your emotions, and try to respond without the trigger. Like the triggers are up close to the skin surface right now. I'm going to tell you that you could be love bombed right now. I really want you to double check and triple check if this person is for real. I'm not joking. You could get duped or scammed under the guise of like big romance and fireworks. Like really do your homework. People, please promise me you will, right? Like if you're online dating or whatever, I really, really don't love having a first date. And I have a video called Our First Date. And I really recommend that you watch that video because your first date really matters and it will not work out. I've done so many readings. I've done tens of thousands of readings. I stopped counting at 85,000 readings. I've been doing this for a long time and I've never really seen a solid relationship manifest. I mean, I know it does happen, but if you met your person under a Mercury in retrograde and you're going strong 30 years and going strong, you are the exception. And there were enough good things in your chart and in your composite chart to make it work. But it is very, very rare. It's almost a miracle. I really don't want you to have your first date inside this Mercury in retrograde period. You can have it before or after, but be busy. Just go get busy with your own self. If you are chosen to give a speech or to give a presentation or to act in a play or to perform, go for it. Go for it, girl. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. But I really want you to rehearse it and practice it. And I want you to be prepared that something could go wrong. The lights could go out. The mic might not work. Something could happen technically or logistically. Oh, the ticket sales didn't go on sale, or we don't have a full house night, and roll with it. You have to learn how to roll with the punches. Everything is going to go wonkadoo, and you just need to be bendable and flexible. This is a time to go within and not be too boisterous, too loud, too drunk, and be careful to not gossip right now. It could really bite you in the butt. I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to see the insecure people come out of the woodwork right now and make a complete ass out of themselves. Yes, you are. They are going to make a complete and utter fool of themselves, those insecure people in your life. And you stay graceful. You stay in the tact and the grace and the diplomacy and the kindness and the sweetness, and you just keep on moving. And if they also are so competitive and insecure with you that you need to cut ties, I don't blame you. I would say just you waltz on out there like the Viennese waltz on Dancing with the Stars. People could blame you through misunderstanding you. Honest to God, like I recently, this was not in Mercury in retrograde, but I was being blamed for actually rescuing and saving somebody, right? And then it got twisted and I got blamed for this. And I was like, no, I am not taking this blame. I didn't do anything wrong. I was there to help you. Keep an open heart, stay humble, and just know that you could get blamed for somebody misunderstanding your genuineness, your love, or your authenticity. Get ready for it. Get ready for it and don't own it. You don't have to be in a fight, but you can just not own it. Okay, remember that there's only two royal signs. One is Sagittarius and one is Leo. You could see royalty topple right now. Kings and queens could really fall from grace right now. And they could also talk out of both sides of their mouth. This is called lying. The liars can be really exposed inside a Leo Mercury in retrograde. Whoever is wearing the crown in your world or thinks they're wearing the crown, keep a close eye on them because you might see their crown fall. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to listen to either your sun sign, your rising sign, or your moon sign, or all three. I'm going to talk about all 12 signs now and how they are affected, I should say, by this Mercury Leo in retrograde. You can also listen to, if you're advanced, you could also listen to your Jupiter sign and your Venus and your Mars sign just to see how is this Mercury in retrograde going to affect me. Let's start with Aries. With Aries, I'm going to tell you right now, my friends, my Aries friends, sun, moon, rising, and if you have Venus or Mars here, you've got to slow down. You have to take a deep breath. This is a time to really go within yourself. Now, we know that Aries and Leo like each other, so there isn't conflict there, but Aries does not want to slow down for all the mishaps that a Mercury in retrograde in Leo and all the drama that it can create. I'm going to tell you that you're going to have to dig deep right now to get into personal courage and resilience and to not react to every fire that you see and not feel like you have to put out every single fire. You are going to find that you are so busy, especially with Uranus having just moved into, oh my God, Gemini. Did you guys watch that video? I just did it last week where Uranus on July 7th just moved into the sign of Gemini. Now we're all on manic crazy mode, and especially Aries. Aries, absolutely no, 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 getting involved for the very first date or the very first time with somebody new during this retrograde. No, please don't do it. I want you to have a chance. If you want to have a chance at your relationship, if you really like this person, do not meet this person until at least August 12th. You're going to need willpower to go slow. You're going to need to bulk up. Right? Like really bulk up on some willpower to slow it way down and to trust. Right now is the time to put into play ways that you can manifest your dreams, how you can bolster up your dreams. What pieces do you need in play to create your dreams? Let's say you want to open up a restaurant. Well, this is not the time to open up. This is not the time to do anything new and open up the restaurant, but this is the time to buy all the supplies, research what you need, watch other videos and other people and how they do it, research, network, market, create promotion. But this is not the time to just open up the doors. If you want to be an entrepreneur, do not start your business right now. You have to at least wait until, I know, right? That's why I said it takes a lot of patience. People are going to try to pick fights with you. People are going to do that. They're going to irritate the heck out of you. You're going to want to pull out your hair. You're going to want to go get a sharp stick and poke yourself in the eye. You're going to be so irritated and so frustrated with people, but you can handle it. And part of it is that people are more slow right now. You're going to also feel, I really feel like you might have a blast from the past try to come back and be with you. And it's not the time to say yes. You have to wait again until August 12th. I'm going to tell you, though, that you could also find that people are really interested in you at this time because that Mercury and Leo with that Aries, it's like you get a lot of attention. Make sure that it's authentic, true attention, and that true blue, right? People are sincere and honest. I want to also tell you, Aries friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, this would be a great time for you to really amp up like your powerful body, like start it, right? Just light it up like the little fire starter on the creme brulee. Yes, this is a time to really ignite your cardio, your physical fitness, your weight training program, because the energy with Mercury retrograde in Leo is sort of like the furnace is burning hot inside. Okay, let's talk about Tauruses. With Mercury in retrograde, for you, with it in Leo, it's uncomfortable. This could really affect your self-worth, your self-esteem, and your financial worth as well. I kind of want to tell you right now to reconcile your finances, your books, your loans right now before Mercury in retrograde hits. And you want to make sure, let's say you started a new job. You want to make sure that you have all the information into the payroll accounting system so you get paid on time. I want to also tell you that there could be little annoyances with timelines around purchasing, I don't know, a car, a package. If you're waiting for something, you got to track your packages. I really want you to pay attention to those tiny little surcharges on everything. I went to go buy my nephew 2 gift cards, one for his little graduation and one for his birthday. And the person at the store said that in order to activate the gift card, it was going to cost $9 each. And I thought, wait a minute, $9.99. It's going to cost me $20 to buy the gift cards. And I'm buying one for $50 and another for $50. The gift is $120. What? Watch those little surcharges. Well, I got around it by buying a different card and I only bought one rather than 2. But I really want you to pay attention to where you might be being sucked dry, milked, tricked, duped around those little tiny fees, those things that we don't pay attention to. Have you guys looked at your cell phone bill, all the little hidden fees? It's crazy. And overdraft fees, bank fees, your interest rate. You can call your credit card company. You can ask for a better interest rate if your credit score has gone up. This is a time for you to really pay attention to your money because there's going to be financial surprises with your cash flow, with your accounting, with your taxes. I want to tell you the good news about this, though. If you really get frugal for these next 3 months, you could save quite a bit. You could save quite a bit of money with this Mercury in retrograde because it has us do deeper reflection work. But don't start any new money-making enterprises until August 12th. Also, loves could return back to you because we are working with Taurus, which is Venus ruled. Old loves, old friends even could come back and even try to say sorry to you. And I would say, don't be so close. Taurus is very, cut and dry. And when they're done with you, they're done with you. Usually, I have a couple evolved Tauruses in my life that are not like that. They actually are very wonderfully generous when it comes to hearing I'm sorry's. But with Taurus, I do want to let you know that old friends could come back right now, or old deals, or old, maybe a job opportunity that you had offered to you and you didn't take it. It could resurface at this time. Not a great time to take it. Wait till August 12th so you can see clearly. With this combination, it's fixed. You could really lose your temper. You could lose your shit. And this is a time for you to go within and really embrace your Venus. How to make a Taurus happy? Really get into your Venus, get into the Venetian things in your life, whether that's planting a garden, going to the ballet, going to the theater, going to a comedy club, doing art, painting rocks. It doesn't matter. Painting a canvas, singing a song, cleaning out your closet even can be rewarding, with figuring out your new style, if you will. Or I wouldn't say necessarily go shopping, but maybe thrifting, right? Because this is a time for frugality. I also want to tell you that you could kind of get attacked for those misunderstandings that I was telling you about, where somebody misunderstood your genuineness or your authenticity. So don't let that happen. Hold your ground, but stay in your Venus. Your Venus is your remedy. Okay, my Geminis, I'm going to tell you, Gemini does not like Mercury in retrograde in any sign, but Gemini does like the Leos, and it likes the Leo fire and passion. But I'm going to tell you, there is going to be an overload of mixed messages. Am I liked? Am I hated? Am I despised? Am I adored? What am I? And you're going to see that people will be talking out of both sides of their mouth. For example, you could go get your car repaired, right? And they give you a quote, and then you get there and it's a completely different quote. Mixed messaging left and right. I want you to be the person who really thinks about what you're saying, what you're feeling, what you're doing, and make sure that your actions are all in alignment. Because if you're impeccable with your word, then there's 50% of the solution, right? Maybe they're not impeccable with their word, but you are yours. You understand that, no, I didn't lie. I didn't fib. I didn't stretch the truth. I was honest in my communication, but communication can really go awry. You could have a social media mix up, or you could send a text message to the wrong person. You could put a naughty picture on a group thread. You could be moving so fast in your life that you give the wrong information to the wrong person. Yeah, this can be extraordinarily painful. You could have somebody walk in on a conversation, somebody overhear a message, somebody see your phone. So if you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, or you're not completely in the truth, I would say delete your messages, scrub your phone. I'm not joking. This is a time when overexposure could really be a killjoy in your life. And I would say go into the depths of what you love doing and learning. This is a great, great time for you to learn that new song, learn astrology, learn human design, learn your healing arts, learn yoga, take up a new class, take up new learning, learn how to cook, whatever requires your mind to learn something that benefits you deep within, something that creates a real joy and a passion inside. This would not be a bad idea to take a class inside Mercury in retrograde, as long as it creates reflection and helps regenerate the mind, the healthy mind. I also want to tell you that old friends might want to hang out with you. Like, gosh, I haven't heard from you, or I haven't seen you in a year. You could reunite with your friends, and you could really step into the past memory making, like the good old days, the good old times. Hanging out with your old friends that you miss or you long for would be a great remedy for you. And I want you to think about how you heal this moment, this Mercury in retrograde frustrations, is you get into your mental powers that benefit you and your life and yourself. Do not allow yourself to suffer from FOMO, because this is the time to learn something deep within yourself. Like I said, yoga, great for journaling, dream study, Jungian study, psychology. Let me show you this fantastic book. I think my Geminis will really appreciate this book. Do you guys know this book? Remember, Now Be Here. This book, my friend just gave me this book, Understanding the Possibility. It's perfect. This is perfect for you. Understand the possibility there. I just just open this up for you. I was like, let's just open this up. This is how I've been reading this book. I just literally open up this book. My dear friend Beth gave me this. There are 3 ways in which one knows what we were talking about tonight. One way in which you know about it is through direct experience. Going through it, you have touched a place inside yourself that has an intuitive validity. This is a great book. And I love how in the back it says a cookbook for a sacred life. I just got this on the 4th of July, and it is beautiful quotes and daily exercises, and it is just absolutely wonderful. It is about the journey, the transformation, and it's a study into Ram Dass's teachings. Anyways, it's kind of out there. It's kind of deep. I don't recommend it for everyone, but I do recommend it for my Geminis. Okay. This is a great time for you to do deep, slow internal reflection. Geminis, will you promise me this one thing? You will try during this Mercury in retrograde to slow it way, way down. Way down. Yes. Okay, my sweet Cancers, Mercury is turning retrograde, and that can oftentimes mean that you could have some real deep reflection with the things that you nurture, the things that are really important to you. That could be your mom. That could be the people that you live with, your roommates. That could be your parents. You could also feel just exasperated with the people that are super close to you that live inside your heart. And I kind of feel like you should go on walkabout right now, or go get into a cabin in the woods on the beach, or go camping or glamping, or go be with nature, near a waterfall of some sort for a day or a weekend. Just recharge your batteries. You might even think about cleaning out your closet, cleaning out your home, nurturing your dwelling, redecorating your dwelling, doing something that puts on a new face in your space, a new face for your space. And I also think that you girls trip right now, and it would be a blast. It would be so fun. Mercury in retrograde, while it can create car problems, so check your tire pressure, make sure you get an oil change, make sure you get a new air filter, whatever you need. I want you to make sure you're safe and all of that, your bicycle tires, whatever, and go on a little getaway. And go nurture your soul and slow down. It's easier for you to slow down than most people, and sort of clean out the cobwebs in your closet, in your bedroom, in your house. Do a deep clean in your kitchen. I'm not joking. Cancer needs to take this time to do the cleaning out, right? To clean out the pipes. That could also be your own body. You could do your own colon cleanse. I know. It's clean it out and simplify your life right now. Get out of the drama. The one hard thing is that Cancers are very emotional, and so is Leo. So this is double motions. And if you can, lean into whoever nurtures you, that is a female in your life, like your mama, if that relationship works for you, or your favorite cousin, or your favorite girlfriend, or your favorite aunt, or your favorite teacher, or your favorite, right? And just pass out hugs. Also ask for hugs. This is a time when you could spend some time figuring out your beauty regime. Leo loves the glamour. Maybe you use that app called the Yucca app. Do you guys know it? It's not perfect by any means. It is not perfect. Let me show it to you. It has a little carrot on it. But this Yucca app, you basically go through the grocery store and you hold this Yucca, it's Y-U-K-A, Yucca app, and you hold this up to the product you want to buy, the cosmetic problems. It does beauty and health and some food, and it's free. And you can see what chemicals and what toxins are in each product. It's really amazing. It was very eye-opening for me. And that's how I see this playing out for the Cancers who have, and a lot of Cancers actually have Mercury in Leo. So if this is you, this is big time. Sort of purging out the toxins in your life, and also maybe reevaluating, cleaning house on your cosmetic counter. I mean, how many cosmetics do we have that we don't use? Get rid of them. Check all the expiration dates on your cosmetics, your shampoos, and your food, and get rid of them. It's really a 3-week period of time where you could do the deep clean on your heart, your house, your hearth, right? Your cosmetics, the makeup that you wear, the shampoos that you wear, the dyes that you wear. Reevaluate what you're doing to nurture your body and maybe create a new protocol. Also, remember, this is a time where you're going to need a little bit more patience with the people that you live with. Yeah. Ooh, lovers could come back into your life. Old lovers, old flames, old friends, friends that you had falling outs with, right? So be there for the forgiveness and the I'm sorry, but you don't need to redo the whole relationship relationship inside Mercury in retrograde. Okay, Leos, you could be completely misunderstood with this. You could also be sort of accused of being fake, phony, wearing a mask, not being true. You could also get caught in a fib or a lie where you have to kind of explain yourself. But even if you've made your point very, very clearly, you could be too strong, too big, too much, just like a good Leo. And I want to tell you, things could really turn upside down and inside out. So for Leos, you kind of have to move a lot slower than you want to. And you have to be willing to live outside of the box a little bit, be in your creativity for sure, but know that when you're living outside of the box, you open yourself up to being misunderstood. You open yourself up to being perceived uniquely or differently. So you're going to have to be able to handle the criticism. Hopefully it's constructive. And you might need to even alter your approach to your creativity so more people can understand it at this time, because I'm telling you, your entire vitality, your soul's purpose, your mission, your goal, your drives, your dreams, your energy will be kind of misunderstood at this time. You might have to either explain yourself, over-explain yourself. You might get frustrated. Just hit that pause button and plan, redoing your language, speaking your intention, soften, because this is really prickly. This is very, very abrasive at times. And my daughter tried to apologize to me yesterday. This is a good example. And the apology was literally like hugging a tumbleweed. I'm like, okay, is this supposed to make me feel better? Is this an apology? Is this supposed to make me feel better? I don't know if I'm really feeling better from this apology. Let's time out and come back to an apology at a later time. I just want you to know that there could be a little bit of this where your apology is so defensive or it is so exasperated with the other person's misunderstanding of your intentions that you kind of just don't have time for it. And I'm saying just have time for it. If you care about the person, have time for it. Soften the edges, because your communication style could be really prickly. I also want to tell you that this is an invitation to figure out what you authentically want out of your life. What do you want to spend time on? And do not give people, time, projects, or work that don't deserve you the energy. Don't care so much. You don't have to be, fabulously even with everyone. Pick and choose that which you want to spend your time on. This is a great time to prep your creativity. Seriously, prep your creativity. So buy your paints, buy your canvas, even go and paint. But this is a great time where if you're doing something massively creative, get all your ducks in alignment, right? Or in a row. If you want to redo your roof or your house or remodel your kitchen, I don't think I would start the project inside Mercury in retrograde. Too many logistical problems could go wrong, but I would pick out my tiles. I would meet I would meet the contractor. I would talk to my partner about it, right? And I would do all the research for your really big creative projects. If you have an important audition or a job interview, make the most of it. Just at this time, Leos, I want to invite you to be a better listener than talker. Absorb. This is a time for you to take in and absorb so you don't wind up expressing yourself in an overly dramatic way, over talking, overdoing, and even overshining the boss. Be careful. If you're applying for a managerial role and you're working with a director, don't go in too bold, because that director will be intimidated by you, right? And won't give you the job. They can't take directions. No, be a really good listener right now, my Leos. Really, really good listener. Okay, my Virgos, this Mercury in retrograde can be actually really good for you, because you're supposed to rethink your life, rethink your relationship to your wellness, your mental health. This is really a reboot on your mental health. If you can't fix something, it's okay. Maybe it's time to move on and toss it to the side, give it to somebody else who can fix it, and you move forward. This is about really becoming very mindful and even maybe digging for this spiritual connectedness inside your own heart and soul. I would also say this is a time for you to plant seeds. So plant your garden, plant your flowers. Even indoor plants can help you. Go get your plants and nurture them. Even if you don't have a green thumb, learn how to take care of one plant. This is a time for deep nurturing of plants and animals, and also your family members too. This is a time to plan out your menus, prep your food, get your calendar, your workout calendar going, and be true to it. If you say you're going to bike, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m., really do it. So this is a time to take the worn out overdose of working, right? Like you're exhausted, and to replenish your heart, your mind, and your soul, you could feel like this is like a heavy anchor around your neck or on your shoulders, just like a weight on your shoulders, because this Leo and Mercury wants you to go slower than you have time for. You don't have a lot of time to go slow and be more thoughtful, but this particular Mercury in retrograde is asking you actually to lead with love, Leo, to lead with an open heart, and then to think. Lead with nurturing your body, your wellness, your pets, your plants, and your work routine, and even your maybe criticisms of life and others. Lead with a more open heart around this. You might be asked to come back to an old job or an old position. Like, we need you. Could you come back and freelance? Do not do it if you don't have time. Go sort out your schedule and see if you do have time. Be really, really mindful right now. And don't overcommit yourself. Don't overindulge in work right now. This is a time to find the hammock and nurture your own soul at the same time and get off the gerbil wheel. And I'm also going to tell you, this is the time to sort your sock drawer, right? And if you cannot find the missing sock, well, that single sock goes away. Get it out. You're only going to deal with pairs of socks, right? And you're going to eliminate the onesies, the one little sockies. Yes, no, no, no. That's taking up space and it's clutter. So this is a great time to declutter your life. I do want to tell you, you can have an extra sharp tongue right now, because that Leo in Mercury in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde in Leo, can really be annoyingly slow. It's like people need extra hand holding. Give it to them. Give it to them. Okay, my Libras, your relationships could really have a shakeup. An important conversation could come in handy right now. What's the things that you have been wanting to say that you haven't been saying? For example, like my stepdad, as you guys probably know, if you know me and if you've been spending time with me, he's really struggling. He has advanced Parkinson's. He had that triple brain bleed last year. And I want to show you this. It's so stinking cute. I didn't even know he was going to do this, but he did this. And I really feel like this could be fitting for the Libra part of your life. Like, do you have somebody in your life that you want to help write their story? Look at this. He gave me this book on Father's Day, Stories of My Life. And he wrote this little book about important stories. And these stories are simple, but is there a special family moment that's fun for you to remember? What are the most important lessons you learned from your parents? What jobs did you have when you were in high school? And he wrote all this, like, oh my God, my grandparents on my father's side, Like, invest in your relationships, write your story, write the story of your loved ones. Who can you help write their story? Who in your life needs a little extra thoughtfulness? Remember, this is going within. So this is a great time to do the research, do the communication, do the talking. This is also the time where you could really untangle yourself from relationships that no longer fulfill you or meet your needs or inspire you. Like, I want an inspiring partner. I'm lucky that I have one. And I want inspiring relationships. It's fun to be with somebody who can inspire me to the same degree I can inspire them. Redefining your relationships at this time, or getting the relationships more in an equilibrium right now, rather than one person having all the power, right? Like, if you're in a relationship where you feel like you have no vote or no voice, this is a time when you can go into deep reflection around what your authentic needs are, what your authentic truths are, what does your authentic heart need? What do you need in your relationship? Now, let me tell you something. I don't want you to have that controversial conversation inside the Mercury in retrograde, but I do want you to do the deep reflection, the getting honest with yourself. And you might see that they will want to have this kind of conversation with you. Like, why are you so cold? Or why are you not paying attention to me? Or why are you, always in your journal? And I just want you to say, well, we can talk about it on August 12th. Don't say that. They're not going to like that. Just say, it's okay. Like, buy yourself time. Buy yourself time, buy yourself time, buy yourself time. But this is the time for you to start evaluating, are you in ordinary relationships, and how can you make ordinary relationships extraordinary? Like, what things could you do to improve your relationships? And this is business relationships too. But this is a great time to write about your relationships. This is a great time to really take stock and take inventory in the people that you are connected into. And are they fulfilling? And I'm sorry if they're not, you don't need to make a big announcement. You can just take space. So buy a little space, maybe go off on your own and figure out what it is you need and want, what vitamins are missing, what vital essentials are missing inside your relationship, and then talk about it after Mercury goes direct around, hey, I really want us to do more of this, or we need to travel more, or let's say I really want to be frugal. I asked my husband, just talking about frugality, I asked him, do you think I am a frugal person or not? And he said, yes, I would say you're frugal. And I take that as a compliment because I'm very conscientious about how I spend my money. You might need more spending. You might need more saving. You might need more frugality. Taco Bell for a date might not be cutting it for you. You might be like, hey, I want to go out to nicer places, or I want to cut back and I want us to save our money. Get on the same page with your partner. And this is a time when you can really get honest about what your heart needs inside relationships. Okay, I would say this Mercury in retrograde is very difficult for Scorpios. And this is when high drama shit could hit the fan. Yes, or the ceiling. I want you to be really, really careful with yourself because you might see that the world has different expectations than how you want to participate. You might feel like people are trying to change you or transform you, or you're trying to change people or transform people. But I want to tell you, it could feel like fitting a round peg into a square hole. And it could be really quite frustrating. You could feel like you're not getting your way. This is not the time to sign any contracts. This is not the time to make your will and sign it. No, 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 no. You can write it up, but just don't sign it. This is not the time to sign contracts. If you have to close on your house, you have to close on your house and you have to deal with it, but be very careful and read the fine print. I want to also tell you to protect your data right now, change your passwords right now, anything that's secret, like the combination to your safe. I swear to God, I think every kid in this neighborhood knows the combination code to our front door. We need to change it. I don't know how. I have to go read the manual. Yeah, this is the time to change it if you are a Scorpio. I also want to tell you that you could be involved in a data breach. You could be involved in a class action lawsuit where maybe you get to be the recipient. This would be a great time, I think, to really figure out your finances, your will, your celebration of life, how you want it to go, even if you're young, and you have wishes. Let's say your whole family wants to be buried and they bought you a plot of land and you want to be cremated. This is the time to put those things down in writing. You don't have to sign the contract, but this is a time really to go through your heirlooms if you're a little bit older and dedicate and devote them to other people. This is a time to do deep internal reflection and also to get into energy healing like Qigong, Tai Chi, meditation. This is a time when you should do really deep dream work or dream journaling. But I'm going to tell you, people are going to try to get you involved in their drama. And you might see that there are very jealous and insecure people that talk trash, that drag you, that troll you, that drag you down. So do not make yourself available to that. Do your Scorpio stealth thing and you just slip out underneath the door. Yep, just like a ghost, and be gone. People could try to kind of out you right now or embarrass you right now. This is a great time if you want to learn the tarot. This is a great time for you to go in and learn the pendulum or the tarot or Reiki or any of the healing, magical, mystical arts or astrology. This would be so good. This is not a good time to launch your astrology business, but this is a good time to deepen your astrology understanding. If you are a Scorpio, go get my Scorpio masterclass if you haven't yet. It's at shopsoulnavigation.com. It's my #1 masterclass that I sell. It is out of this world. It is so good. I teach you how to see Scorpio in a brand new way. It is just so good. Also, I sell this report called the 365 Transit Report, and it is also in my shop. And it's called Your Daily Horoscope for the next 365 days. So worth it. It is one of my very best reports, and I go through all the important days based on your natal chart. It is fantastic. I read my little daily horoscope, even though I can read the chart. I just shortcut, cheat, running out the door. Oh my gosh. And I know what the aspects mean. So it prompts me to think about, okay, I want to hold this planet in my heart today. This report is so fat and juicy. It is so worth the money. It is so great. And it lasts a year and it helps you learn real astrology because you're starting to really understand how these transits affect you. So that's my Scorpio homework, and just Be careful with your tongue. You could have challenges inside your sexual relationships. You could also find out secrets. Secrets could be exposed because people are sloppy inside Mercury in retrograde. They pick fights. Secrets get revealed, right? Don't be paranoid. Don't be paranoid. We don't need that. But you could have new understandings could come to light about your romantic sexual relationships and even about your own sexuality or someone else's sexuality. Okay, Sagittarius usually gets along really well with Leo. And when Leo goes retrograde, it's like, what? Like slam on the brakes because Leo helps Sagittarius's engine run and go, and it's high octane fuel. So when Leo slams on its brakes, Sagittarius just, it's like, slams into place. It's like literally slamming on the brakes on the freeway behind a car, barely missing the car in front, barely just, by a little inch, not rear ending that car. This can be really irritating and frustrating, like life stops. And that is not fun for Sagittarius because Sagittarius in this particular case has like one level, and that's called go and go bigger. And it does not like to slow down. So this is major inconvenience. This is a great time to plan your next trips, plan your next adventures, plan your travel and all of that, but maybe not necessarily go on your adventure. However, if you are like me, I will be going on a small little vacation at this time, not a big vacation. It's just a tiny getaway. No big deal. I just have to be extra careful that I have my passport. I have my keys. I have my wallet. I brought my, my sunscreen. I brought everything I need. I got the dog to his little camp on time. Like run the logistics, write them down. Literally, if this is Sagittarius for your days, you guys really need to pay attention to your logistics and make sure you can actually do them all because you are probably going to bite off more than you can chew because everybody's going to be going much slower than you. Your appointments, your commitments, your travels, your logistics could go haywire. And you really do need to leave to give yourself the 2 hours to get to the airport, right? Just to be there for the flight that's delayed. If you want to promote your new book or promote your new channel or promote your new podcast or promote your new work or whatever, you can definitely promote, advertise, and market. But I would only do the little baby launch, not the big launch. Just a baby launch, not the big launch, not the official launch. I also absolutely would not meet anybody for a first date during this time for Sagittarius. Live with your heart wide open. You already do, but do not be fooled. There could be double talk, and you could also be caught in scams, lies, fibs, untruths, right? So really double check, the messenger and the message and make sure that it all lines up. But I would not have a first date. No. I also will tell you this is a time for you to get in touch with being authentically you and not just doing things to stay busy, but doing things of great merit and value that add to your life that you truly believe in. And this is also a really important time for you to get some really good rest. Like you're like the bear that needs to kind of hibernate, like really, really get your good sleep right now, because when this goes direct, boom, game on. Game on, girl. Okay, right now, I've got to make it to my yoga class. Speaking of Sagittarius, getting their energy set right for this Mercury in retrograde, and I will be back to do Capricorns, Aquariuses, and Pisces too. Okay, my friends, let's talk about Capricorn and how this Mercury in Leo in retrograde is going to affect Capricorns. Well, one of the things that I want to talk about is reimagine your place in the world. Reimagine the actual power that you have in your career or in the world at large. And I want to ask you to also think, who do you want to be out there in the world? How do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to look like? And then who are you being? And if there is a gap, and there might not be a gap, but if there is a gap, what steps can you take? What things can you learn? What things can you redo, reinvent? How can you rearrange your life to live up to or to become, or for you to step into your greatest, highest power? Because right now there is an eagerness in you to really amplify your power at work. Right now, you might need to rehabilitate your first impression. You might want to, and I don't really mean that in a derogatory tone, refresh how you come across. You also might want to rebuild career dream. You might want to regrow. You might want to rethink. And right now, I will tell you, though, that you are tired probably of, or you're going to become tired of playing small ball. And you are going to want to be a larger contributor and a bigger leader in the game of life, in your game of life. And I also think that this can be a time for you to work on past memories, like journal or make a scrapbook, or really fall in love with the previous challenging parts of your life that made you who you are today. Reflection around, who have I been? How have my wounds actually helped me heal? How have my wounds brought me to my place of greatness? This is a great time to review and maybe revise the stories that you have told yourself around your life. So dig deeply into, who have I been? Who am I being? And who do I want to be for the greater good of the world, for my greater good, for my highest self? And I would say really reevaluate the foundation in which you're building your legacy, your life. Even if you are only 19 years old, you are building a reputation. You are building a legacy for yourself. People know you. What are you known for? This is a time when you could really pay attention to that authentic piece of you that needs a little bit of reworking and figuring out your big picture, the big vision that you have for your life. And what do you want to go out there in the world and conquer? And how could you, now it's not the time to go do the conquering, but it's the time to reevaluate and figure out which pieces of me are not in alignment with the higher version of my very best self. You should also think about giving yourself permission to revise your big dreams, your big goals for yourself. And, maybe you wanted to be a doctor, but becoming a nurse practitioner is more pragmatic or practical, or maybe becoming an operating room nurse or RN, like revising your goal and giving you permission to do so. So I'm going to say, kind of hold your tongue a little bit, because remember, I was talking about how dramatic Mercury in Leo is. And when it goes retrograde, it doesn't total. Capricorn and Leo are kind of the antithesis of one another. Leo is the great showman, and they get the accolades and the approval and even sort of the adulation and adoration. And they do hard work, but oftentimes their hard work, it happens differently than it does for Capricorn. Capricorn really they can find themselves in the trenches, digging one shovel at a time, doing extremely hard work. And Leo sometimes can have their successes come by in an easier way. I'm not saying Leos are not hardworking, but people could be more dramatic and maybe more fake than what you appreciate or like. So calling people out on that is not usually a good thing. Those clashes can happen when Mercury's in retrograde, especially in Leo forecast. You could become highly, highly irritated with people who have fake personas or superficial goals, or don't really have the sweat equity or the grit or the tenacity that it takes to get them where they're at. You could also feel maybe overlooked or unseen, not heard. You could also feel really misunderstood, and you could see that the logistics in your life, you probably run on very tight logistics. The logistics in your life could go sideways. You need to build in extra time for when those logistics do kind of go awry, and they can throw you for a loop. They can confuse you, discombobulate your world. So disengage your feelings, or disengage from your feelings as much as you can handle, to not be so triggered by this high drama Leo Mercury. I also want to tell you one last thing, Capricorns. Your plans for your vision, your future, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, your job interview, it could stall out. It could peter out. You could just run out of steam, run out of gas. Or the other people could, what? They asked me to come in and do this job interview, or they proposed this job to me, but now the hiring manager is nowhere to be found. They're on the island of Ibiza. What is going on? So just be very, very patient, and just know, just because it stalls out doesn't mean that it's gone forever. It could resurface after Mercury goes direct. And also, you could find that people from your past who feel like they missed out on something resurface themselves, or wants to replant themselves into your life. And you have to really ask yourself, is this good enough? And is this going to benefit my highest best self? Capricorns work to become the best versions of themselves. Also, I would recommend that if you do want to get back together with an old love, to do after Mercury goes direct. Yes, you already know that. You already know that. Hopefully you've listened to this whole video, and I invite everybody to listen to this video for your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or if you have personal planets in these different signs. Okay, my Aquariuses, this is interesting. So Leo is in your opposite sign, right? And I want to know with my Aquariuses, are you dealing with the Pluto energy yet? Are you? So your social circle and your friendship circle could really need to be evaluated right now. And it might just happen organically where it's like, wow, I'm just rethinking my friendships, and I'm rethinking who I'm friends with, who I want to spend time with. And you might want to carve out the fat. You really might want that skinny margarita where you're like, I just want a smaller group of friends right now. I can't handle the big energy that I usually can handle. And you might also see that you'll have to evaluate for this, but you might see that you're rethinking, you are reorganizing your friend group, you're rethinking who you want to be friends with. And you might even want to rebuild some of your old friendships, go back into, reevaluate who are your true friends. There might be a great renewal for you around friendship. What does friendship mean? And I also want to tell you that you could run into logistical problems or challenges with your friends, like your friend no-shows or your friend goes home early, or you found out a secret about your friend, or your friend's true nature was exposed, or your friends are not as evolved as you, or you're on a pathway to enlightenment and they're not, they're held back. They're in the remedial class of life and you're in the expert class of life. And I also want to say that you might want to revise the concept of friendship. You might want to remake your friendships. Think about the groups and the organizations that you pour your heart and soul into. And are they good enough for you? Do you find them to be still fascinating? Do you still grow from those groups or organizations? Or have they started to stifle you? Because this is in opposition of your sun sign or whatever planet, even your moon sign or your rising sign, this is a really big deal for us, because you might feel like the world, you just can't win at the game of life right now. The world is either moving too fast or too slow, and it's hard for you to just directly dial into the makings of your life. You might feel adrift, lost at sea. You might also feel like you don't want to sell yourself out for the protocol of the group, the organization, or the friendship. So you have to be cognizant and highly aware, like, what is the price of this social group? What is it costing me, energetically, mentally? What is it costing me to be friends with you? Do I want to pay that price of admission? And I also want to say that this is a great time. This is absolutely a great time for you to invest in the people that you truly love, that you feel nurtured by, that you feel foster your dreams, foster your hopes, your wishes, your goals. Because this is the house of, like, your website, if you will, or YouTube, if you will, things could kind of go technically wrong for you. Really order your battery for your laptop. This is the time when you could experience computer difficulties or social media difficulties, or, things go off the airwaves, or, your iPhone stops working, or your car engine light comes on right now. It's annoying, but anything that has an electrical thing to it. You could have a power outage. You could see that communication doesn't reach you in time for an important detail, like, oh, we had to change the location of the family reunion. Sorry, we didn't tell you. And you ended up on the wrong side of town, or you didn't get an emergency notification that could have really helped you in your life. It's almost like dead air. I want to tell you, teamwork could kind of let you down right now. You might see that you're the heavyweight on the team, or you just don't have the energy to even participate on the team. So if you are on a team, whether it be passing the baton on an athletic run, or if it is just going camping and it takes 2 people or 4 people to build the tent and you're left there with the chores, or nobody helped you with the dishes. Yeah, it's like teamwork could disappoint you right now, or it could go wonkadoo. It could go backwards and you could get highly annoyed with that. But I do want to say that platonic friendships could have deeper conversations right now if your friend can go into those places of discovery with you. So you could have a meaningful, reflective conversation that revisits memories or revisits hard times or wants to make things better. You could see that logistics, you have to really slow down because Aquarius moves fast. You have to really, really slow down in order to manage the little technical difficulties, communication difficulties. And this Mercury in retrograde is actually asking you to get more creative within your own self, to reboot your own self. I also want to say that this is a real opportunity to revamp, reorganize, rethink how you want to be involved as an advocate for something. And this isn't necessarily the time to sign up to be the advocate, but to think about, how can I help humanity in new ways that I haven't been available? So you might see that there's a revision to your concept of volunteering or helping others in need in the world. You might see that your heart really expands and there's a generosity of really wanting to serve. Because this is the house, I believe, of like YouTube and social media and your website. It isn't necessarily your emails. This is not the time to launch your podcast, documentary, or submit. If you have to, you have to. Then pick a good hour. And if you are a member, I have a timing technique on how to pick the best hours out of the day. So if you have to submit your submission or send in a application for something, try to delay it until after Mercury goes direct. But if you can't, pick a good hour. If you are in alignment with a true advocate, this is a good time to talk about a common goal or a shared goal that you will then work on once Mercury goes direct. But don't launch your brand new TED Talk, podcast, documentary, film, your book. Don't launch it during this Mercury in retrograde, because Aquarius energy, Uranian energy, and the 11th house. I hope you guys saw my Magi workshop. You can go get it in my shop if you want. They believe that that energy creates fame. Okay, my Pisces. Oh, this is kind of fun. Mercury in retrograde in Leo is really interesting because I think it takes your creativity and it puts it into your soul and you start creating from a whole new place. I do think you're going to be exhausted with the external world, the drama of the news, the drama of your family, the drama of your friendships, maybe the drama with your partners or pets. And it's like you are going to probably want to just wear your headset and go deep into your contemplation and step back from the craziness of life. So this is a time for you to nurture your psychic sensibility, your psychic sight, your clairvoyance, your intuition. This is a time for you to do your detective work, figuring out the puzzle pieces, the solutions to all the questions that you have. This is the time for you to get divine answers. I also want to tell you, this is a time for you to go back into your childhood loves. Like, what did you love doing as a child? What did you love doing previously? This is a time to resurrect those from the dead, from the graveyard, right? And bring them back into the forefront of your life. If you put down the piano, this is a great time to go back into piano. So whatever you fell in love with doing, maybe there's another version of it that you could do now. I was talking to a lady who can no longer do ballet and she loved ballet. And I told her, what would be really neat is if you did a different kind of movement, just a jazzercise or even a Pilates or a yoga or something more gentle, or maybe aerobics in the pool. And she was like, yes, I would love that. I've got to put that into the forefront of my life. So what makes this really pretty extraordinary for Pisces, I'm going to explain it this way. Leo and Pisces don't necessarily get along because that's fire and water. But there's a lot of similarities with Pisces and Leo. And that is they meet in sort of the magic of life. They meet sort of in the creativity, in the imagination. When Mercury retrogrades in Leo, I think for Pisces, it gives them permission to slow down and go within. With Pisces, there's more of a spiritual nature. And with Leo, there's more of an ego nature. Not that the ego is bad. It's just that the ego pops out more, right? So Pisces gets permission with this Mercury in retrograde to go deep within and to have a spiritual connection into themselves. It's absolutely beautiful. I also think this is, yes, a massively spiritual time for Pisces. You might actually design your beautiful canvas with art, but you might develop more deeply mediumship skills, your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, your clairaudience, your ability to connect with spirit, to cross over loved ones. And this could be a time of great ascension for you, because the deeper you go in, the more light you emanate, the more light shines from you, the larger your aura, the more peaceful. And that spiritual connection, I find, can be found in the silence, stepping out of the chaos. Now, I'm going to tell you, because you're going to be so deeply sensitive and aware and kind of on your own internal trek into the soul, journeying into the soul, you might be annoyed with how loud the cacophony is out there in the world, how dramatic, superficial, how people are not concerned or thinking about the right thing, the deeper thing, where the people who are superficial are really going to irritate you. So irritating. However, and there's going to be the typical delays and, leave, of course, 2 hours before your flight leaves in case you get your flat tire, run out of gas, right? Expect technical breakdowns, engine breakdown. Of course, all that is the stereotypical Mercury in retrograde. But for you, this is a time for your imagination. This is a time for your sixth sense. This is a time for you to really step into your Kundalini. This is a time for you to step into going acoustic, like going unplugged, I should say, and going into your creative and spiritual world, dream journal. And I love this. I think that there is such a sweetness for Pisces. And I know that sounds kind of crazy because Pisces and Leo don't really get along. Your realities could be confused. You could be too hopeful, too gullible right now. You don't see clearly. You could be a little bit too scattered, unfocused. You could just want to escape the harsh words that you hear out there in the world. God, aren't people like harsh? Yeah, it hurts my feelings. I also saved this little cute story for my Pisces. I felt like my Pisces could understand, but I have this Mercury in the 12th house. So it's similar to Pisces, right? Like the house matters too, but I didn't do the houses in this video. I just did the zodiac signs. Anyways, my Mercury in Leo will be in the 12th house of Pisces. And I just did the cutest thing. So there's this girl that lives down the street and she has built a little tiny fairy garden. She's a woman. She's like my age. She built a fairy garden. And every time I walk by it, we stop and we pay homage to the gnomes and the fairies in this little garden that she built. Well, she took her fairy garden in to repaint all her figurines. And I just thought it was so stinking cute. And I told her, her name is Lauren. I told her, I said, Lauren, where is your fairy garden? The walks aren't as much fun without being able to see your beautiful fairy garden. Anyways, she said, oh, I'm repainting. I said, well, get it back out there. So she texted me the next day. Hey, okay, pressure. The fairy garden's out there. You should make one too, Meredith. I said, I want to make one too. And I thought it's kind of a lot of work. Like she put a lot of detail in it, but it's super creative and it kind of feeds my spirit. And I love the fairy. I actually believe in leprechauns. Do you guys remember the video I did talking about the leprechauns? Yeah, like crazy. And it's just magical. And I told her, I said, Lauren, I'm not going to copy your fairy garden, but I'm going to build a fairy garden. I'm going to do it in this retrograde. Yes, I am. That is going to be my Pisces Leo retrograde. And I'm going to invoke and invite the fairies into my garden so they can sprinkle their fairy dust and pixie dust and all the elementals. Anyways, I ordered all of the most adorable little pieces and miniatures to build my fairy garden. I just don't know if I should put it in the front yard because I don't know if somebody would steal it. I don't think they would. Like, who would steal a fairy garden? But I am so excited and I will show you guys my fairy garden. Anyways, let me know if you heard all the way to the end about my fairy garden. And I want to know if you did sit here and listen to all the signs. What sign are you? What's your zodiac sign? Because you're remarkable. You're special. You're actually really, really, really wanting to learn. And that is pretty cool. I love this placement. I mean, I think this is the Pisces Leo combination, Leo in retrograde, Pisces sun, Pisces moon, Pisces rising. I think you're going to see massive creativity if you can slow down, if you can put in the time, if you can really, really still your heart, still your mind, and not get too frazzled when your world, your logistics and the world's logistics gets all discombobulated and bundled up, bumbled up, I should say, bumbled, fumbled, bundled, all that. Anyways, and don't believe in all the illusions. Double check your illusions to make sure that your illusions are really, really real. I want to tell you one last thing, just because I love my Pisces. I love you guys so much. I hope to God you watched my Pisces videos, because my Pisces rising video, I think, is my favorite video I've ever done. Terrible lighting. I'm in my kitchen. Oh my God, it's my favorite video. The comments always make me cry. If you have not watched that, oh my God, go watch that. I swear to God, I think I channeled that video. I don't know where I got that information, but it flowed through me. You'll see. That's my Pisces rising video. It's old, but it's good. I wanted to tell you that you're going to see magical symbols right now. You're going to get magical messages. I don't know what your symbol is. Is it a hummingbird? Is it a feather? Whatever. An eagle. You're going to see magical symbols. Do not walk by them. Practice seeing, practice hearing, practice opening up your third eye, practice your creative pursuits, practice writing down every time you encounter a magical moment, a magical symbol, write it down. It's more likely to come back to you, especially if you're not afraid of it. I also think this is a brilliant time to take up dancing. And guess what? I signed up for Zumba. So inside this Mercury in retrograde, I'm also going to take Zumba. I wasn't very good at it today because it moves so fast. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was really, really fast, but I am going to dress up for my Zumba class, and I'm going to take Zumba during this time. So you should come take Zumba with me. I also want to tell you pottery. Start throwing pots, start painting, start filming things, do photography, learn how to needlepoint, learn astrology. Please tell me you are coming to my Virgo masterclass, right? On July 20th, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. You got to go to Shop Soul Navigation and get a ticket. Also, are you coming to Nice? I have 2 tickets left because they rearranged the room. I don't know if you guys heard, but they took the coffee service out so we can have 2 more seats. I can't believe it. So come learn with me in Nice. Just check out all the details, the French Riviera, at soulnavigation.com and click on astrology workshops and retreats. I just adore being here with you all. And I just want you to know that my heart is with you. I hope you're safe. I hope you're better than okay. And wherever you live in the world, my heart goes out to you. So take care. And until next Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, every Sunday, you get to learn new, deeper astrology.